Welcome back to the show. We are joined by Congressman Brian Mast. You may follow him at Rep. Brian Mast on Twitter. Congressman, happy belated Alive Day. I know it was a couple of days ago, but I know it's also a real big deal.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be alive. Appreciate that one.
Yeah, you take a look at, what's happened. We spoke about the whole situation in Afghanistan, and I can only imagine it's that much more personal for you. You obviously, in the recent hearing with Secretary Blinken, not accepting what the Biden administration is putting down on this deal. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, one, it is very personal, right? I left a couple of limbs in Afghanistan. I lost friends in Afghanistan. I've seen, people severely injured in Afghanistan. Aside from myself, I know the time that people have spent away, and that can't be all for naught. And the way that this administration removed us from Afghanistan didn't leave the world in a better place. It didn't leave America in a better place. It didn't strengthen the region. It didn't strengthen our ability to counter terrorism. It put every single strategic goal in a much worse position, to speak about it from 30,000 feet. And that makes the sacrifices all for naught. And you go beyond that. Every girl over there that was working and getting educated and now is worried about getting killed for being educated or being in work. The reductions in just basic human rights that are going on there, our ability to not have intelligence there. Everything that was worked for over 20 years was just literally flushed, and it's sad to see. That's an understatement.
Congressman, I'm curious. So, when we had recently the Cuban people try to fight for their own freedom, and any assistance has been denied by the Biden administration, something I found notable in that window of time was that with all of the members of Congress of Cuban descent or that are Cuban, the Biden administration didn't reach out to any of them. And in fact, they were trying hard just to be heard on the issue. With your background, I'm sorry, Brian, go ahead.
No, yeah, I don't want to interrupt. I was going to say I was out with in Cuban marches, pro marches for people that want freedom in Cuba during that period of time. And you're absolutely right. It was another example of whether in Congress or whether from the administration, not one word about supporting those Cuban freedom fighters. I'll give you another example of it. Same period of time. I sit on the Foreign Affairs Committee. We were doing a hearing on China. Every Democrat on our Foreign Affairs Committee hearing voted against a resolution to support a free Tibet. Think about that. They can't support a free Tibet. They can't support a free Cuba. They can't support human rights, for the women and children in Afghanistan. What is it that they actually stand for, aside from saying, let's give somebody else money? Let's maybe see if we can give away enough money in South Central America that people will stop flooding over our border and invading the United States of America. I mean, that is the only thing that they think can solve any kind of problem, is giving away $1 that somebody else went to work for.
It's remarkable in the context with which, there is no reaching out to the people who are aware, who have experience, who are in Congress and part of the federal government. There's not a person who is alive today. There's no veteran of Afghanistan that is alive today that's given more than you have. It's just a fact. And has the administration at any point reached out to you for any of your thoughts, any guidance or insight you might have?
The administration has not reached out. I'd push back this a little bit. Look, the truth is what I have is a scratch. I lost 2 legs, but it is a scratch compared to a lot of my friends that came home that are blind in both eyes, that are also missing limbs, that are, traumatic brain injuries, that lost just their life with their family because of being away year after year after year. Their marriages failed, their relationships with their kids. It goes so well beyond that. I am blessed that I still have 2 arms, blessed with the family that I have. But no, the administration hasn't reached out to me or any other, rank and file veterans that I know of. We see that there's an old saying, the higher you are up the ladder, the further you are from reality. Well, we see how void of the real world and logic and common sense that those in the military really high up the ladder, and Secretary of State Blinken really high up the ladder, how far away from reality they are, how far away from common sense they are about how the world really works.
Recently, we heard the Army Corps of Engineers advise the South Florida Water Management District that despite the Big Sugar lawsuits that are outstanding, everything's on track with the Southern Reservoir and with the other related Everglades restoration projects right now. Is that the case?
For the Corps of Engineers, and they are on track. While they are trying to be constantly derailed, this is absolutely laughable. I'll wrap it up quick on that just to say Corps of Engineers is getting sued by the U.S. Sugar because they're cleaning water, and cleaning water means that the water can be sent out of their control. They're literally suing because the Corps is going to clean the water. That's how fundamentally they want the water dirty, because it's the number one thing that helps them keep control of it. If it's dirty, it can't go south into the Everglades, which means they have their iron grip on it. Absolutely laughable.
Unreal. Wow. I knew you'd have an answer to that. All right, we'll talk more about that soon. All right, may God bless you, Brian. Keep fighting the good fight.
God bless, Mr. Mudd.